Welcome to yet another episode. We usually tackle a number of political or social or anything that affect our country, our lives. And here we are today. And for today, I'm just going to let Mr. Nyilenda introduce to you. What are we talking about today?
Greetings. I think today we're going to tackle issues like what happened, like Mr. Honorable Chambranyina Jere tabled in Parliament to see that CDF should be monitored by MPs.
By members of Parliament?
Yes.
That was
and
like, we discussed that one.
Yes.
When he tabled in Parliament.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the president has declined it in simple terms, because for our viewers we can't use those elite terms, but we can say that the president has declined that.
Okay.
So he's saying no to that, to say that no, that is the wrong move.
Okay.
Add some. So it doesn't seem like my my target. You can also add some.
Okay, we're going to tackle a range of things. Like he has pointed out, the CDF, the president didn't sign. We also want to look at the cabinet reshuffle that happened recently. As we have said, first start with the Chambranyina Jere MP late last year. In the beginning of Parliament, work of Parliament, he tabled the motion to change the CDF because the courts interpreted, they didn't interpreted that the CDF should be managed by.
Okay, so it was like this. So the constitutional court,
a bit of the background, yes.
Yeah, the constitutional court said to say that no, it's too much power for the members of Parliament, because they've got rights to go and vote in the assembly, like at the district assembly. Then also everything is like revolving on them when it comes to regard of the utilization of CDF. So the court said no, members of Parliament should concentrate in Parliament to make the country go forward by contributing to the policies of how do we run this country, to make laws there. They mustn't be now goozing up for what is the CDF doing, what is happening, because that should be the work of the councillor. So the Constitutional Court said they shouldn't have rights. They trimmed their rights not to vote in the assembly, the district assembly. So then when they went back to Parliament, Chambranyina now tabled to say that, okay, we understand, but now what are we going to campaign for? Us being members of Parliament, the logic of people is to say that the duties of a member of Parliament is to come and say, I built the hospital, I did this and that, and promising development, known as Chitukuko. So by trimming them, the involvement in CDF, then it renders them useless, because now the councillors will be looking superior than them. So they tabled it in Parliament to say that, no, okay, fine, if that is the cause of transparency, we're going to make sure to say that we learn over it. We should be superior in it. But now, we will not be doing like involved in the finances, like that the district commissioner, the ADC, and the councillors deal with that. But now, it should be in our powers to say that, okay, I want this, not that, put this there. So now, when
in actual area, what was happening was that was the MP the decider of the CDF to identify what he's going to do in the constituency with the CDF. Was it like that?
By the laws, it does not. It's supposed not to be like that. But them now, they hatched they can be the guinea fowls, but they now hatched the hen's eggs. You see, they were overlapping to an extent of to say that they wanted to control it.
Okay.
So that's why they put a block into that, say that okay, it shouldn't happen that
so
way.
Chambranyina came in with a motion saying like, okay, it's called the constituency because it's got the MP, who is a member of Parliament. He's like the president of that constituency. Now he came to say no. Because if on the 5-year term, there are a lot of failures, this hasn't been done, this hasn't been done, the fingers will be pointing to who?
To him.
To the member of Parliament, that
yes.
he hasn't been doing what?
He has
what
not
he
been,
was promised.
yes.
Yeah. So from there, and we hear the president didn't sign, which we didn't sign into law, which means all the members of parliament agreed that what Chambranyina tabled.
Yes. So it's two ways
So,
now. It's vice versa.
Yeah.
So
the member of parliament, which is the legislature, and they all made this one to say, okay, now we have made this into law. They are lawmakers. We have made this into law. We just want the president to sign. And the president refused to sign it. What does that mean?
Okay, so now that is very interesting because look, if you heard what the spokesperson for the government, or should be DPP, Shadrach Namarumba said, he said, we were less informed about this procedure. If it was then broadened to us in a such manner that we do understand now, we couldn't have gone ahead with it. So it's a two-way street. So what DPP has done is to say that now there is no much democracy in this country because everything now is in a DPP plate. So whatever DPP decides, that happens. Look at the Speaker of Parliament is DPP, Vice DPP, third is DPP. If you go in councils here, most of the, what do we call it, council chairs is DPP. So it's everything DPP.
Do they get voted in?
Yeah, they are already being voted in.
That is democracy in practice.
Not that much, because now they are abusing power. Because for the sake of sanity, they could have let others sleep to other people. So that there must be some checkups.
Just for the question, I'll just go a little bit back. MCP was in government. Who was the like speaker, deputy, and was that from the other parties, or they were all the MCP?
No, they were all from MCP.
Yes.
So, but remember, we can't repeat the same wrong to make it right. Because DPP is everyone's hope. We are expecting them, having the president, the professor of law, we're expecting them to, our expectations are they are going to do the things the right way. So look here now, we stand here. The whole parliament has voted to say that we want this way. The president says no. And he doesn't even stress. Already the spokesperson is there in arms to say that no one is going to table this again. By in Chewa term, we say, meaning to say that it has died in the hatching process. You see? So, now, if it was like the power was balancing, therefore, they could be they could have tabled it in parliament, even seek to impeach the president. But now it can't happen. It means that Peter Mutharika is more powerful than we do expect.
Okay. So, in a way, I would ask, it was just a week the MPs came into parliament, opening the parliament. In that week, just in that 2 weeks, the first thing they did was to change this law. In those just 2 weeks, on whose interest were the MPs changing that law? And in those 2 weeks or a week, they thought through that what they were going to change was really for the benefit of Malawians.
There is no any political will to develop the country or to change things for the real cause of change. Because now the MPs, they are not stressed much about the change to come into a developmental way. But they are now nursing their baby. So the thing is, when you go to a constituency, what I was telling people, MP's power should be in parliament. You must be influential there. Let the councillor also shine by building these little things. So what is stressing the most is to say that CDF now is to 5 billion. So it's a process of decentralization. So instead of us, the northerners, crying for the capital hill there, to say that, agumboro ifama pondereza, or magudu now, so they want everyone to have his own share.
Yeah,
you see? Cake. So the MP, from the fundamental reasoning, it's like when you go to campaign to people, you say that I will bring in development. So people have been psychoned into a matter to say that whoever develops the constituency is the MP. So now they are very afraid to say that they have taken that thing they were signing on. So if they take that thing, they know to say that they are useless. You see, for the fact that you see most of the MPs, 90%, they were having ghost projects. They were saying, let us build the hospital here. Once the payments have been made, there is no hospital there. You see? So they were investing in, not to change their people's lives. There was no any political will to change people's lives. But it was to say that, let me go there. I will siphon whatever is meant to develop the place and put in my pocket. So when the hell day breaks,
so
me, I'm well settled.
In other words, are you saying President Professor Peter Mutharika thought through about this and saw that while they're trying to change that law, but they are changing for their own greedy, did the president make
a right decision? Yeah, President APM now, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, right, is the right president for Malawi now on three things. I don't think he's going to run again in 2030. You see?
No, it's not.
So the only thing he can leave for Malawians is a good shape.
Good legacy. And
you see, the good shape of leadership. Like in most of the countries, you name of Singapore, you name of China, there was someone who dreamed about doing the right thing. You see? So for now, it's Professor Peter Mutharika. Look, some are complaining, no, how can he go to Zambia and buy maize there when farmers have got maize here? But if you realize, you say that when they asked farmers to release the maize, to say that feed the people, the country is dying of hunger. They said, no, we're not going to do that. This is our own end production, which definitely means we'll sell it when it is fashionable to do so. So that was a lack of patriotism, because even if you make profit, right, there must be a patriotism here to say that you can't always be looking at profit in a sense of a cruel business decision. You see, it comes to education. Everyone said it will fail. But there are so many parents in the villages there who are relieved to say that, okay, now let me relax this January. So no matter how we can paint it politically, as long as a doomsday preachers, prophets of doomsday, the way they say it, but APM is on point.
So the decision, because
the decision is proper.
You were contradicting there when you said like, no, so there is no democracy because the MP have made these decisions. But the president didn't sign.
When Camus, we were on the one-party system, most people who make the government look as a failure government or a government which doesn't do things proper, as the juniors, they can be a policy up there, but the juniors now, they don't adapt to that. Because you only calculate 5 years to say that in 5 years' time we can change, things can change. So you make the leader dance to people who are primitive in thinking or maybe shaping the leadership goals. You see? So now when I was saying there is no democracy, indeed there is no democracy, but for now we really need that. We need
other words, we don't need dictatorship, but we need a decisive leadership.
But if I may agree not with you,
that is two things. There is a difference between dictatorship and decisive.
But to my point now, I think at this juncture we need dictators who can dictate the right things.
When we put a word as dictate, that looks bad because it's a dictator, but a decisive leadership.
A decisive leadership.
They have to see this is wrong.
Yes. Because if you can see it properly, Professor Arthur Mutharika is dictating this. Because democratically the whole house of August House is not happy to say that the CDF should be in the hands of councillors and the EDC and the district commission. So he has now dictated it. He said that
he had made a decision, a decisive
to dictate that let's go this way. Because he knows to say that he's not touchable now. You see, no one can touch him because now the DPP is very desperate.
But it's not only about DPP. We also have to take in the professionalism of the whole thing. we have the Constitutional Court that ruled the other way. And we have lawmakers who are, most of them, they didn't study law. They're lawmakers. But they didn't study what? Law. Yeah, the Constitutional Court have made a decision. This is the decision. Then there is these ones who are like me. I don't know much about law. Then I said, no, we're going to change this, and we take that to give it to the professor of law. Do the professor of law? He has to make a decision according to what? To the law. So on this one, I think Arthur Peter Mutharika did what he did, and he did what he did for the good of what? Of this country, and for also to give respect to the courts. You can't just, the court can just not rule today and then tomorrow the MPs change the law. I don't think that would really look good.
Yes, but remember, APM is doing that only because he knows to say that his political career beyond 2030, he won't be the president. First thing. Also, he knows to say that the majority of DPP in parliament, they can't go against him. By doing so, it means that they are putting themselves in hot soup. So if they just show cracks now, 2029 is even far. 2028, they will be out of government and control.
Okay, so coming to the second issue, cabinet reshuffle. Who is the biggest, who is the one who have taken the fall? Who is the biggest loser on that reshuffle from the beginning and now? Who has been really like, this was aimed at this one, this has been stripped of this one. But who is the biggest loser on those ministers?
I will not call entirely to say that loser, because it will be like forming a kind of like target. But what I can say is to say that the command of APM, the sense of good leadership, the command, because for you to be a leader, that was what Chakwera was lacking. Because you can't be good at everyone, unless if you sell ice cream. But as a leader, you make bold decisions that even if someone doesn't like it, but tomorrow you will see the light of that tunnel. So what Peter Mutharika did was, he didn't just use words to divide and crack the DPP. Because remember, we spoke about this earlier to say that what Gangata has uttered here is kind of nonsensical. Or if not nonsensical, therefore it's very amateur. Because as a leader, you have to see tomorrow. You don't have to live only for now. So let me put it in this way. Definitely, if they could have taken someone else for the central region, DPP could not have penetrated MCP there. But they took one of the people from the central and made fight MCP from within. And if you see percentages, as the politics is the game of numbers, DPP got most of the votes in the central region, even passing the Rome belt, which is the southern region. So Gangata should be recognized. So to answer your question, though, I could say that Gangata has been demoted. Not demoting him in a sense of hatred, but to tell him so that, hey, remember he recently said, Antuwa, many mwana bambiri wa mfune msafune 2030, inenduzatenga udindo wa APM, inenduzawa ramlira Antuwa. You see, for the sake of unity.
He was growing too big for himself.
Exactly. The ego.
But is it like we really went through a lot? Malawi went through a lot. Good or bad? Good. There was good things during MCP. There was also bad things during MCP. I know you have touched like because of Gangata, it's like because of him, central region. Most of the people who voted for DPPs because of Gangata. Is that the fact?
No, we have portions, you see. There is the president of the southern in the party of DPP, central and northern, you see. So even if we cultivate, we are given bags of seeds to plant. No matter you cultivated maybe 10 hectares, one had only 1 acre. The one who brings the most there is the chairman of, despite who calculated, I mean who sold only a large portion. So what am I trying to say is, per your original question, to say that who has now been demoted.
Yeah.
I foresee Gangata's demotion because it was a technical to say that no, for you to start now but mouthing others, to shine yourself individual brilliance, it's not a common agenda for DPP. So APM didn't want just to throw Gangata under the truck, as we said before, to say that DPP under APM, he should decide. And the coach Sade and Gangata, not to hate them, but to show them, to say that leadership, sometimes silence is golden. You see, so they put him under natural resources there, which is also good, because natural resources is also a big city. But now, Minister of State, it was like a chairman of all ministerial powers.
Yeah, he was like the deputy president of the. He was the president of the ministry.
Exactly. So I think that was a demotion. So he is the one who got the most heat. But what we can say is,
what lesson could he learn from it?
Okay, so politics.
Gangata himself.
Remember, if I cross-quote Honorable Ezra Mkaka, usiku, and people misquoted him to say like, if you should be vigilant at night now, carry guns and threaten people. What he meant was, when people now they are sleeping is when you recite what happened. So by the time you open your mouth tomorrow, it should be uniting, but now your soldiers should be invisible. You see, by the time you strike, no one should know you, the one who fired the bullet. Unless Gangata now, he wanted to show everyone. You see, being with the state security yet in office man. So that was exaggeration. So
I saw it from the government issuing that the disaster management has been shifted from office of the vice president to the office of the president. And just going back on the vice president, office of the vice president, first vice president, there was in December, there was a birthday bash with a lot of figures I wouldn't read, that was on the budget she was going to run and to celebrate the birthday of her husband. That went really, Malawians didn't like it. Yeah, most of them, they really didn't like it. Do you think that have got to do with something that being now taking this disaster management to OPC? Do you think I've got any relationship in that?
No, the one thing people, they don't become sharp on it or think properly is undermining APM. APM is very sharp. So history is the best teacher. If we go back then, when Chilima was the vice president, Saulos Kraus Chilima was the vice president, he was given the same powers to be the chairman of Dodma in his office. But he also started outshining the master. And he was also taken out. Or he was also taken off. You see? So this is just repeating. So the message is like this. Madam Jane Answer, you not say that he's a good person, because he's a parent and whatsoever. But if we come to politics, he's like very self-centered. She is very self-centered. So what happened was, the time she was in UK, others said she was going for the birthday, but it turned out to say that the husband was sick. So she went to attend the husband's surgery. So those are unconfirmed reports. So it's like we just saying
the hearsay.
Hearsays, yeah. So what happened was, when the vice president was there, what we hear now, the second vice president comes against her and wanted to replace her to go and see or visit the people in Kotakota. Then with a political doom to say that everyone is looking at 2030, they had to block that. You see? And until today, the Dodma are just sending the SMSs when the vice president is that side. You see? So then I think
the country here was in fire.
Yeah,
the country was being swept away by rain.
Yeah,
but the vice president, who is in charge of the disaster management, is there. So nothing was being done.
UK. So instead of the rest of the people to go and do or fill up his shoes,
no, we have to wait for her to come,
because it was like her political tool to say that by then they put a political will to say that, remember, the leadership of APM and the DPP as a party, like there is some squabbles. APM wants to lead the country in a unity form, but those who have got political ambitions, they don't want Afford or whoever cabinet minister should shine once he doesn't have the umbrella of DPP. So what happened was to say that Mr. Chihana, President Chihana was stopped, though we just heard. There's no proof. So once he was stopped there, now the country is on pause, waiting for someone who is in UK.
Yeah.
Now APM came again in to rescue that.
Yeah.
He said that come to the office of the president and the cabinet. Cabinet meaning those who are there who he can easily deploy to say that go and look into that. You see?
Yeah.
So he was also swallowing so much things. In no sense was he strike off when he stopped another person who can do the same job she's supposed to have done there.
Yeah.
And now then she illuminated herself, or she showed her true character, that all what she's doing is political, has got a political ambition, not to the will of the people, like to save the Malawians.
So we have come to an end of our episode today, and we hope to come back with more topics next time we meet. Thank you.
Lastly, though when the president speaks, no one stays. I want to say thank you to Professor APM. This country needs a leader like him. At least set up the good foundation so that others who are coming in 2030 can build on a foundation which is very solid. For that I salute him. He can't please everyone because he does not sell ice cream.
Yeah.
But for him I say kudos to APM. Thank you very much.